Hi, I'm Wolfie, aka the Reading Werewolf, ergo Thomas. Today I'm doing the Book Newbie Tag. I'd just like to start this by saying this is not my first video. I've done like 4 more, and I just filmed an unboxing video, and since I already had the camera out and the lighting and everything, I decided I'd go ahead and do the Book Newbie Tags because I've already have everything out and I've been meaning to do it for a long time. There's 7 questions I'm going to answer, and actually there's 14 because I came up with 7 smaller questions to do at the end. I'm going to start with the original 7, and also if you want to see the original Book Newbie Tag, you can go to the links below and look at that. I'm going to do her 7 original Book Newbie Tag questions, and then I'm going to add 7 more quickie ones to do. The first question is, why did you start this channel? I really don't know. I just thought it would be fun to do because I watched a lot of Booktube people to talk about books, and I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to do the tags and record them and review books. I like to review books. I have a blog where I review books, and I also want to try to do it on this. Question 2. This is 4. This is 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, the first thing that comes to mind when I think that is middle grade books, because most of the booktubers that I have seen talk about mainly YA books, and as much as I do have a few YA books up here, I have mainly middle grade. I do think I will do a lot of YA and adult books in the future, but the majority of the books on this bookshelf are middle grade, so that's probably what you're going to see most of in this. You will definitely see a few YA and adults sprinkled here and there, probably fairly frequently, but I think that middle grade books are not really a big, huge thing in Booktube. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I think I'm going in circles. Next question. Question 3. Not 6. What are you most excited to do on this channel? This is a hard question. Make videos? Is that an acceptable answer? No? Okay, I'll come up with another one. One thing I would really like to do eventually is create some book tags, because I have a few ideas for different book tags to do, and doing other people's book tags, because I really like the book tags like this tag, and watching people do book tags and challenges and bookish challenges and stuff like that. And also I'm excited to do some more book reviews. Another thing I'm excited to do is to get a little more comfortable in front of the camera. Another thing, I'm hoping to get better at all the YouTube stuff, like linking videos and doing end screens and editing and knowing which music is okay to put on YouTube and Booktube and what music isn't okay. Question number 4. I didn't do this one this time. Why do you love reading? This is probably the most difficult question on this list of questions. I just love stories, and I love getting inspiration from stories, and I love creating stories. It just feels really nice to exercise my imagination with all the books and having to picture it in my head. And you can do things through books that you can't do in real life, and you can do and see things in books that you can't do in real life or in your own imagination, because you never thought to think what these authors thought. Another thing is that you get to see a bunch of different personalities and a bunch of different characters and a bunch of different situations. I think it makes you a little more understanding of other people, because you can compare them to books similar to them or similar to their situations in the characters in the books. Next question. What book or book series got you into reading? The Magic Tree House series by Mary Pope Osborne. These aren't even all my Magic Tree House books. These are just the hardbacks. My Magic Tree House books are all this and this. And that's not even all of them. Some of them are downstairs. The Magic Tree House books were really fun and creative, and I learned a lot from them. And I really loved reading them. They were some of the first books I ever read. Also, if you can see them, I'm not sure if you can, but down here I have some stepping stone books, if you know what those are, like first readers some of my favorite of those. I think it's mainly this, but definitely some of those as well. The Magic Treehouse series is just really wonderful, and if you're need something to get new reader, as in new to learning how to read reader, to be more interested in reading, try these. What is the next question? I can't read like that. What would you ask your favorite booktuber? I don't know. I don't know what I really would ask them that I couldn't learn from them by watching their YouTube videos. I think my top 3 booktubers would be Pullin' Bananas Books, Catty-tastic, and Jesse the Reader. I really don't know what I'd ask them. One thing I'm always curious about is what they use to edit, because I realized that I can't do things on iMovie, which is what I use, that they can do on theirs. But they have videos about that, so I really don't think I know of anything that I would ask them, because they make so many videos about so many different topics. I really don't know what I would ask them. One thing that comes to mind, though, is how much do you film and how much time do you spend on booktubing? Like filming, do they film every day? Do they film every other day? How many hours a day do they spend filming? And then editing, and then posting, and maybe what they use to make thumbnails. What is the next question? Question number 7, which is the final question out of the original questions. What booktubing challenges do you think will be hardest to overcome? I mentioned getting more comfortable in front of the camera. That's all of the original 7 questions. I just wanted to add a few more quickie questions on it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and shorten these 7 questions into 3 questions. So the first 2 questions are, what is your favorite book and your least favorite book? My favorite book is The Daring Adventures of Penhaligon Brush by S. Jones Rogan. I don't like rereading books. This I reread 20 times because it is magnificent. And I really hate that it only has 50 ratings on Goodreads, and while some of the other unpopular books have hundreds. And a lot of the ratings aren't even that good. They're give it 1 star. But you definitely need to read this. Please, read it. Read it. You need to read this. Yes. For my least favorite book, I was not happy with this ending. A Series of Unfortunate Events, Book 13, and the final book, The End. I was not happy with the way the series ended, because it's a 13-book series. It was a lot of commitment, and I spent probably 3 years reading this series and being read to this series, and then this was the ending. I guess I should have known, though, because in the beginning of every book, he warns you it's not gonna have a good ending. But I wasn't expecting this disturbing nonsense. The next 3 questions are, what book have you most recently finished? What book are you reading on right now? And what book are you planning on picking up next? For the book that I have most recently finished, I actually just finished this one today, and it is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I'm sure I'll do a book review on this either on my blog or this channel one. And I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars, and I put it on my favorite shelf on Goodreads. I really, really liked this. It was really good. For what book am I currently reading is a shameful one, because it's the first time I've read it. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's the first time I'm reading it. Yes, I'm aware that it's shameful that I have not read this book yet, or the series. But what I'm glad about is that I've waited until after I started a Booktube channel to read it, because now I can do book reviews and book talks on the whole series as I go through it, and not even a reread book talk, but a once-read book talk. You people who are judging me for not reading this yet, I can still read it with fresh eyes, and you can't. If you can't tell, it's late, and I just had a Coke. For a book that I'm planning on picking up next, I have A Christmas Carol, this really pretty Bronze and Noble edition. So pretty, so pretty. I read this a few years ago, and now I get to read it again. This time, my dad and my mom are going to be buddy reading it with me. That's nice. I'm actually going to start this sometime tonight, assuming that I get to bed on time to sleep. It's 11 o'clock right now, and I need sleep. So, the final 2 questions I came up with are, what is the most recent book you have purchased, and what is the book you've had the longest? I literally have just filmed an unboxing video, which is my most recent purchase. I'll link that here if you want to see it. For my oldest book, I don't really remember, but when I think of that, Floors by Patrick Cameron, I'm not sure if this is the oldest book that I have owned. I have a little group of books that I owned before really getting into buying my own books and not just going to the library. I don't think this is the book that I've owned for the longest, but it's definitely in the first 10 books that I got. And this is kind of what I think of when I think of the first book I ever got. You know what's sad? I haven't read this yet. I started it, but I DNF'd it, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. I just DNF'd it. So that was the newbie book tag. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll check out some of my other videos. There's some links down in the thingy if you want to go check that out. Bye!